Greetings traders out there in Traderland, D7 here with Grok Trade. This is the weekend edition, good through Sunday, January 27th, 2018. Markets they just keep going higher, 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 and higher. If you look here, Friday, we ended the day bullish territory. NASDAQ up more than 1%. Small caps up 1.3%, the Russells. Financials up 0.8%. US dollar down 0.5%. Crude oil higher. Silver higher by 2.65%. Gold higher by 1.5%. VIX dropping by 7.8%. We're now at 17.4. Bitcoin is right around 3,500. Taking a look here at the market, starting here with the S&P of 500. This is looking good, guys. I mean, we bounced here off the trend line, up, 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 up. We have a buy signal. We go higher. I've not put a sell signal on it yet, but look how we're right here at this resistance line. We hit this resistance line here and we dropped. Do you see how we dropped from this line? So we hit it, we dropped. We get near it, we drop. We hit it, major drop. Now we're at that line again. The question is, will we bounce around between these two trend lines for a while, which I think we have a good chance of doing, or now that we're up here and we're above a lot of these moving averages and we're building a high base, will this just punch through? If it punches through, that's going to be really bullish. Then this blue line up here, this blue line down here, it'd be an upper trend channel and it could consolidate within this huge range. And if it does that, it's just a slow bleed to the upside. So follow me here. Forget all my arrows. You can't see anything. All I want you to do is pay attention to the blue lines. If we do, in fact, just stay between these two blue lines, it's just going to be a slow bleed to the upside. But what I like to do is look at the bigger picture. Let's look at the weekly chart and see what's up. A weekly chart, we had this rising wedge right here, this line and this line, and we broke down. What was support, this trend line, then acted as resistance here, popped up, got close to it, resistance, we drop again, then we're bouncing off of support. This is a bear pullback, almost a tweezer top, which is really bearish on the weekly. I'm going to go over here, take a look at the Fibonacci retracement. I want to get a bead on this. I need to go to that one. We're up over the 50%. The 61.8 is very important to me. And the question is, if on the weekly chart, can we get above the 61.8? So in other words, can the S&P get above 271? If so, look for consolidation sideways. However, if we have a bearish week, this next week, look for that to get down here to the high 230s in the S&P. Look for another major dip to the downside for the next few weeks. So this next week, if it's bearish, look for February to be bearish. That's what it's lining up to be. However, if we can keep going higher, especially if we can get above the 271, that's going to be really, really good for the markets. And I might as well take just a quick look here at the monthly chart. This is the monthly chart. Now this is still dynamic. It's still moving. It's not static yet. This is a moving candlestick. But this was critically important. Do you see how we opened on this trend line, then we've gone higher? Let me tell you, as a technician of over 20 years, in February it'll be 21 years I've been trading using technical analysis. Look at the red candlestick here. Do you see that? The middle of that candlestick is an area of a psychological support and resistance area. In this case, it's acting as resistance. Do you see this? So forget the lower shadow. Just look at the real body, the red candlestick there. Split that in half, and that's right where we're at. So in other words, guys, if the market was going to pull back, if the market was going to retrace, now is the time to do it. It's going to have a hard time getting higher. I think that we have a chance of going higher next week. I think it's a bigger chance of dropping, and because of what I'm seeing on the bigger time frame. If you look at this, this is the 20-month moving average. See this blue line? If you look at the blue line right here, you can see it acts as support, gets near support there, come up support on this line. Once it got broken, now it's acting as resistance. So again, this is the monthly chart. Big volume on the sell side, and we have a nasty bearish divergence on the MACD centered oscillator. That tells me if I was just trading off of this chart, we're at support, so we can go higher. The odds of the sell-off volume, the odds of the bearish divergence, the odds are and the odds of the lifespan of this monster trend we've been in. I mean, this has been trending since 2009. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for you mentor students, the mentees who's gone through our 301 training, guys, we have six swing highs. 6. Now look at the lifespan that you guys were taught. Look at what is probable. Okay, so this is nasty sauce. It's very troubling. I mean, to the educated eye, you'd say, well, we're in an uptrend, we pulled back to support, and we should bounce. If you delve deeper, this is a perfect place for it to reach this candlestick's, the January high. This is a perfect place because the previous candlestick, we're at halfway point. We're at the 20-month moving average, which is now acting as resistance, not support, this blue line. And we have a bearish divergence on the centered oscillator. And we have massive volume on the sell side on those candlesticks. Okay, are you following me here? And if you were to extrapolate that down a little deeper, now we'll go into the weekly, which we looked at already, but I want you to look at it with fresh eyes now. This broke down. This is a big down leg. Now this is what's called a bear pullback. That's all it is a bear pullback. A tweezer top. The 20-week moving average is acting as resistance. And we're below the 50% Fibonacci. This is a perfect place to short. Now, if I look at the MACD centered oscillator, furthermore, we're sub-zero. We're on the zero side. We're heading higher. But do you see the MACD? The histogram is ticking lower. In other words, for the MACD and the signal line to cross over, this has to flip to the negative side. See how this is on the negative side? Anything that's negative means it's crossed over and heading down. The only way you can cross is if we get lower. It's heading lower. It's getting lower. It's getting smaller. So it's going to flip, or at least it's saying it's going to flip. And that would be a crossover right at the zero line, which again is a really good place to be looking to short. And so now we have the monthly perfectly set up for a short. We have the weekly set up for a short. The only schism that we have here is the daily. Now, if we look here at the daily, and I'm using TradingView, there's a link down in the description. That's the charts that we use, is TradingView. What's different on what's going on the daily is it's bullish. It's bullish. And we did get past the 61.8 Fibonacci. So it's telling me we have a better chance at least blowing through this or consolidating sideways. I just think that we're at major resistance on the daily after an extended run, that the stars have lined up for the short side. So we had our nice pop. It's set up to short. Now, let me say this. You have to understand me here. Just because everything is setting up to short, this is the perfect time for shorts to be forced to cover, meaning that if the markets start to rally, we get this initial rally going into this next week. When that happens, the people who are highly educated, that think they know best and are guessing the market and they're going short with the guess, they will be hurting with a rally and they will be forced to buy to cover. So you'll have the bulls buying and the bears buying. So you'll get this a lot of volume to the upside, breaking to a lot of resistance levels. If next week is very bullish, then the markets our chances are really good that we're going to start drifting higher, or at best, just drifting higher, but could just be chopping sideways for a while for it to catch its breath after a 10-year rally. Okay, so this is to be expected. This is very common. I'm surprised this last breakdown wasn't more severe than what it was. So far, we seem to be buoyant in this. So I hope that's helping some of you guys. Let me quickly go over some of these other things that I think you'll appreciate. Oh, listen, we have a slight change, guys, and I need to tell you about this. Our next training, I told you the wrong date. It's Saturday 9, 10, and 11. So February, okay? So it's coming up a couple weeks here. February. It's Saturday the 9th, Sunday the 10th, February, and Monday the 11th. That's our next training. If you want to do that, just up above, you can see Grok Trade. Go to Grok Trade and click on Trading Mentor. When you click on Trading Mentor, feel free to read all the stuff. You can take a quiz up here if you want to, whatever. But just fill out the form. We'll get in touch with you. We'll probably send you a text, and we'll just talk about the training that we're doing, okay? If you want to join us, it's 3 days. It's marvelous. Man, we had Mary and the husband, who's who is he? He's a nuclear physicist or astrophysicist. He's an astrophysicist, and his wife were part of the group this last time. She just wrote it's a marvelous review of her experience, and she's been to a lot of other trainings. She's been, I won't mention them, but some of the bigger trainings been there, and she wrote this and she put it on Facebook. And actually, if you don't follow us on Facebook, go to Facebook, Grok Trade. Actually, go to website, just go down the bottom and you'll see a link for Facebook. Just click on it, but you'll see the write-up about her experience on the last 3-day training. Yeah, it was heartfelt. Really appreciate that, Mary. Thank you. Okay, let's quickly get the Dow daily. So the Dow 30 is right at resistance. See this? We're right at resistance. Had a run. This is the daily chart, right at resistance. The NASDAQ, right at resistance. So resistance, we dropped. Resistance, we dropped. Resistance, we dropped. The NASDAQ hit resistance, we dropped. We're at resistance again. Everything's at resistance right now. Perfectly set for for shorts. But again, if it rallies, look for shorts to have to cover and look for big volume and a big pop. This is if we're going to get a breakout, it's going to happen now. This is where the breakout has to happen. Russell's 2000 small caps. If you look at this, this is interesting. Let me do something here. So we broke. So this is promising, okay? So we broke the trend line on the Russells. Usually whatever the Russells does is what the broad markets will do. And I always want confirmation with the financials. Here I'm not getting it. Financials are at a major trend line and we're at resistance. Financials are at resistance. That's bad. Now this trend line it broke coming across. That one it broke, but it hasn't broke that one yet. Quick look at the US dollar. Ooh, I have to put a sell on that. So I put public call buys and calls. Do not follow them. Do not trade off of these. But there it is, a sell on the US dollar. And that should bode well for gold, silver, equities in general, stocks. Everything's cheaper when the dollar drops. And US and you see this crude oil. We put a buy on it. It's up, 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 up. I'm going to stay with my buy there. Silver. I had a sell on it, but now a major pop on Friday. Just a ginormous. I have to make sure it's under the right candlestick. I hate because sometimes I get quick and I just throw them on there, and you guys call me out like, hey, it wasn't on that day. It was the other one. It's happened a couple times. Look at this. So I'm not always right. So I put a sell in here, but it backfired. It popped up. But I'm fine with that. We just took our profit. So we were in gold at 115. We're out of gold at 120. So we made 5 points on it. So I'm fine with that. Now we just rebuy it. Rebuy it. The VIX is a fear indicator. And we drop. We're still dropping. And I'm going to get rid of some lines. One day I need to go through and just clean up all my lines that I'm not using right now. Quick look here at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I got a buy on it. As long as it stays above this red line, I'm okay. But it's acting, moving averages are acting as resistance. Do you guys want to see any tech stocks? I know you can't answer me because it's a recording, but for you guys that are still hanging with me, I'll do this and I'll do a monologue at the end for you. So let's quickly go to some tech stocks. Let's look at Apple. I got a buy on Apple, but it's turned into a bear flag. Got to be really careful with this one. This one, if you decide to go long on this one, just know that this is danger city. Danger city. Anything lower than that red line, you'd want to short or just be out of it. We have earnings coming out January 30th. Remember that. AMD, I got a buy on it. It's looking good. Amazon, I got a sell on it. Do I want to put a buy back on this? You know what? I'm not. You see how I drew my trend line? It might not look right to some of you guys. And if you go to Grok Trade, the main page here, there's a trend line class. It's a recording. Feel free to learn how to properly draw trend lines. I used to think back when I first started in trading, I used to think that indicators and oscillators, that's where it was. And I learned that as I got more mature and savvy in my trading, that those were just crutches and they were lagging. They're lagging by, intrinsically speaking, they are lagging by definition because they take price action, they take volume, they throw it through a cute little formula, and it's lagging by nature because it's taking historical data to come up with a plot. That's a problem. What I found out was the importance as an institutional trader, former institutional trader, and a trader for 21 years almost. I found out that the trend lines have been that's the secret. It's the trend lines. And it's the diagonal ones. It is not the support and resistance line, horizontal. Not nearly as much. Baba. Oh, I got to put a buy on it. I don't want to, though. I don't want to. Especially going into earnings. You know what? I'm going to not put a buy on that. Baidu. Man, hold on. I just need to. I'm just going to. Baidu. I got a sell on it. I'll put a buy on it. It's hurting me put buys on right now because the markets are all at resistance points. So these things are due to crash and burn. Right there, I'm going to put a sell. Let's take our profits on Priceline, which is called booking. We're in at 1690 and out at 1800. Cisco, we're right at resistance. I got a buy on it. Let's put a sell on it now. So we are in at 42, and we're at 46, only 4 points. Blue chip stocks are just horrible to trade. I got a sell on it, but it broke resistance, and it's a hanging man. And of course, I'm forced to put a buy on that. Of course. That's looking good. eBay is up 3%. I mean, Friday was just such a good. I'm going to stay with my buy on eBay. We're making some fat cash on that. Facebook got a sell on it, but it's forcing me to have to put a buy. Are you kidding me? I don't want to. Google got a sell on it, but I have to put a buy. Google with an L. Google with an L. GoPro was soft on. Ooh, it's a high base breakout and it didn't make it. Let's take our profits on GoPro. So we are in GoPro at $4.30, out at $4.90. So Microsoft, I got a sell on it. I'm okay with that sell. MU. Got a buy on it. Ooh, and it broke resistance. I'm really good with that. Netflix, I got a sell on it, but I have to put a buy. Have to put a buy on Netflix. Nvidia, got a buy on it, and I'll stay with my buy. It keeps going higher. Oracle, I got a sell on it. Resistance, and it broke resistance. It's heading up. I'm going to stay with my sell, though, guys. I'm going to stay with it. PayPal is up. Oh, look at PayPal. See, this is nice. It goes up. Does this choppy base, it pops, it goes into a bullish pennant, pops. For you students, I mean, look at this. For you, those that have been trained to our system, you see this beautiful triangle right here, and it broke down. That was a great trade right there. You see, you'd have to draw your lines. Then it goes into consolidation. There's no trade there. Once it pops up, you had a line here for kind of a big fat triangle, a breakout, which would have been a purchase here. Stayed with this trade and added to our position on the pop of that. So there was a lot of money on this one. Shopify broke resistance. I mean, that's amazing. Really, really good on Shopify. That's amazing they're doing that. Snap was up 3.7%, and it broke resistance. That's great news for Snap. That thing's just been beat to smithereens. Twitter was up 4%. I got to put a buy on it, but I hate doing that right when it touches resistance and people sold into it. So there we are. So monologue time. So it is the frozen tundra outside. I mean, here in the Midwest, we're supposed to be getting insanely low, frigid weather come through. Man, it's yeah, that's what it is. So we have a pretty good group. I mean, all those students that come through, it's just a good group of individuals who, it's like an ecosystem. It's safe. It's a nurturing group. We all have each other's backs, and it's all about learning and staying relevant to what the ever moving and changing market that's out there. Never trading by yourself, always being part of a network, a group, a support group, being part of an ecosystem. And yeah, we've been in business like 11 years, and it's just neat, Every once in a while we'll do like live trainings. We'll go to Las Vegas or wherever and do these live trainings, and it's neat to meet everybody and you can get to see them face to face and hang out. Anyway, listen, if you're still with me, let me know that you made it till the end. And I asked everybody what state you are from. Feel free to let me know exactly what state, what city you're from. You guys network with one another. And if you're from another country, let me know, especially if you're from another country, let me know what country you're from. It's always neat seeing. I looked at my Google Analytics, and it looks like we have viewers, from 162 countries. It used to be 155 countries or territories. And I think there's right around 200 countries, if I remember right. I don't know what the latest number is. For any of you data geeks out there, let me know exact number of countries that are in the world today. Not territories, countries. That'd be interesting. I'm interested to know that. So anyway, take care, guys. Until next time. If you want to, if you want us to, if you want some help, you want to have a much better 2019 than you had 2018. Let's just talk. See what it's going to be like to be under our wing and having our support, having that wind at your back as a trader. So make sure, just go to Grok Trade. Once you're in Grok Trade, click on the mentor, fill out the form, and we'll have a chat. You'll chat with John. You'll feel like you're best friends with him after 15 minutes. He's a good guy. He's fun. Everyone loves him. All right. Take care, guys. We'll see you later. Bye. Guys, last couple weeks, you've lost probably 8 to 10 times more in your portfolio than what an education from us would have cost you. Invest in yourself. There's no greater expense than being ignorant and what market tuition will cost you. Do yourself a favor, look us up for mentoring. It's 3 days. We have one coming up. Go to Grok Trade. There's top of Grok Trade. I'm not even going to show you the website. Go to groktrade.com. At the top, there's a button there for hedging. You can take the hedging course. That to help you during this time, so you don't get your head handed to you. But if you want to make money in this volatility, if you're just don't want your head handed to you, then mentoring. I'm not here peddling it to you, but what just irks me to no end is individuals who think that autodidacticism, that's trying to learn something themselves, is the smart way to go. And they think that learning to trade is something that you can get yourself. I'm telling you, I thought I blew through 2 accounts until one day I woke up and thought, I can't do it myself. Don't let that be you. Don't let your money dry up. Don't lose money in the markets. Learn to be savvy. Kill it out there. Be a shark. Don't be bait fish. Be the person out there that's the smart one, that has a system in place. Trading is significant. It can be the best thing that's ever happened to you and your family. Or it could be one of the heartaches, one of the broken dreams of your tomorrow. But I'll pose this one question to you. If you go through our trading mentorship, if you're like, man, I'm in, I don't care what it costs because I'd rather put my money invested into education than lose it in the markets. If that is you, ask yourself, after you go, we give you all the tips, all the tricks, we give you everything. We pull out the stops for you and give you everything to reach your full potential in trading. We give it all to you. From this date, 1 year from now, where will you be? How will your life, how will it have changed? That question will tell you everything you need to know. GrokTrade.com. Check us out. Catch you guys later. We'll see ya.